Alright, so in this lesson we're going to be looking at some shout fundamentals. Alright, this is going to be one of 5 lessons that I'll be creating looking at the shout patterns and movements. So traditionally this is referred to as a praise break. Alright, and if you can tell, the tempo is really fast. So this is usually about 150 to 160 BPM. Right now the track that I'm running is, I created it at 160 BPM. Alright, and we're going to use this same track throughout these lessons. So first things first, the piece that I just played, it's in the key of A flat. So if you look at the A flat major scale, you have, alright, that's your A flat major scale. Now the first chord, or the walk up, this walk up that we did, alright, that starts on the 3rd. The 3rd of A flat would be C. Alright, so if you play this with the bass, this would be C9. Alright, now if you play it without the bass, it's going to show as an E minor 7 flat 5. So E minor 7 flat 5. Alright, so if you're playing this without the bass, it's going to be E minor 7 flat 5. Now an easy way to remember this is, if you know that this chord covers the 3rd and the 3rd is C, if you look at C by itself, right, in the right hand it would be the 2 5 1. See that? D, G, and C. That would be the 2 5 1 of C. Alright, and that 2 5 1 is a progression that you're going to hear very often. Alright, 2 5 1. Now accompanying that is the left hand, which is a tritone. Alright, so we have E and then we have B flat. Alright, so in all, this is what you get. So that's the first chord. The trick is, I'm going to move this up in semitones. So I'm going to take this, put it over here, put it over there. Then I'm going to take all of these notes, move it up one, and look at that. Now I have the chord for C sharp. Alright, so because we're going to be moving that's what the bass player is playing, right? But those are the same movement that we're going to actually make. So we're going to move from the 3rd to the 4 to the sharp 4 to the 5, then to the 6, then to the 7, then 1. All right, so sharp 6, 7, and then 1. All right, so the C sharp for D, for E flat, and then for F, F sharp, G, up to A flat. All right, so again, if you look at this, right, you'll realize that I'm always skipping this semitone. So I'm always skipping E. So if you look at it in fourth, you're going to have, in groups of 4, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? All right. See that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We're skipping that one. The same thing with the chords. When you move them up in semitones, so you're moving from the C up to the C sharp to the D to the E flat or the D sharp, and then you're going to skip this. All right, you're not going to play this one. You're going to skip that, and you're going to go over to the chords for F. Right, and then F sharp, G, and then root. All right, or 1. All right, so you get this ba da 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 ba da da bow. All right, and it's all about the rhythm as well. So if you're counting 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2, or you can count it 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So I'm starting on 2. All right, or if I was counting 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. All right, so you're not starting on the 1, you're starting on 2. 1 ba da da da, right? So it's 1 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 3 4 da da da. All right, and I would just do that so that my fingers become used to it. All right, so that's that movement. Now the next part to this is the whole rhythmic aspect. When you're driving, right, you want to have something going a little bit like this. All right, so what's that? So it's ba 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 do ba ba. All right, in my left hand, I'm bouncing off that E flat and the F. In my right hand, I'm just doing the octave with the perfect fifth in the right. So I have A flat, E flat, and A flat again. All right. And you may hear me do 4 4 1. I'm just moving my fingers over to that C sharp major and then putting it back here to the 1. All right. All right. So let's look at it again. Ba 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 da da ba 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 da da ba 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 da da ba 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 da da ba 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 ba. This time the bass player can choose to just do 1. Okay, and of course you can get creative with it. All right, but that kind of creativity, we're going to be looking at that in a separate video. All right, but for this video, I want us to focus on the movement. All right, and then just a simple pattern in the drive phase. So again, we have our walk up, and by the way, let's look at the measures. All right, so each time the turnaround is done, so right. So no matter what the progression changes to, there is a set time to do that turnaround, okay? And you have to feel it. You can't do it on an odd number. So if the measure is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You realize it's pretty much the same. And if one is say for example we did and we did something else. No. All right. So you're constantly thinking about did I do 8 bars or 7 bars, and then on the 8th, that's when you do the run for the 8th. All right. So you're always thinking about that. So again, just to recap, this is E minor 7 flat 5. One way that I use to remember this is if I practice my tritones and I know the tritone for a particular note, like the third, the tritones for that. Once I find that, it's always going to be like the third, a minor. Let's look at it as a major second from this, and then do the 2 5 1. All right. So you're always starting on the third of the key. All right, and then do the 2 5 1. All right. Or if you want to look at it like this, we're in the key of A flat. If you want to look at it as, hey, I can readily see where the 5th is, start the tritone right after the 5th, the semitone after the 5th. So for example, if you were doing this in C, and you wanted to know where to walk up from, right? This is the 5th. Start the tritone here. See that? It's still the 3rd, and you're still going to do the 2 5 1. But if you start this here, I know that that's where my tritone, my chord, is going to start from. I'm going to skip 1 and then, all right. See that? Same thing if you were doing it in F sharp. You would find where the fifth is, the semitone after that, that's where your tritone is going to start, 2, 5, 1, all right? And then you would continue it up, all right? So what I want you to do is to practice this, all right? You and me both, we're going to practice this in all our keys. Remember, the goal is not to be the best in a day. The goal is to become better every time you play. So hey, if you like that one, check out the next one. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and let's be better together.